Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Time to take that walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Thanks so much for stopping by. I do appreciate you spending a little time with this old man today. Guys, this should be a treat. This is Raven's Light from Mason Ale Works. These guys are out in California and these guys do some really tasty stuff. I'm very impressed with what they do. This is an Imperial Stout. More like a pastry stout or something. This is a big beer, guys. This is a 13.5% alcohol by volume. It says pastry stout with cocoa nibs, raspberry, and virgin coffee, and Madagascar vanilla. That sounds just damn tasty to me. And the writing on the back, it says small, unless I put my glasses on or get a magnifying glass out. What happens when you get old? You can't read that super fine print anymore. Over to Untappd, in their commercial description, the same thing I just read off the front, and we're not going to get into that long when they have on the back. 13.5%. Looks very dark in the pictures in the beer in the glass here, but it should be a dessert-esque type beer, where you could have it as your dessert or with a dessert. But final beer of the evening for me. If you're going to drink something like this, guys, if you're not drinking at home, please make sure you have a designated driver or Uber or something lined up, because just one of these, just one at 13.5%, that's like 2+ beers, 2.5 beers in one serving. So what do you think? You're inebriated or not? Chances are that little meter is going to say different. Anyway, be careful. Don't hurt yourself or anybody else. 12 ounce, 16 ounce can, plain Jane with a stick-on label. Not any kind of dating, but with 13.5%, this beer, other than the coffee, which may fade over time, this beer would keep for a long time with that high of an ABV. So it's up to you. If you want more coffee, drink it fresh. If you want a little less coffee, sour for a while. It's not pitch black coming out, guys. I mean, it may look that way in the glass, but it looked more like cola coming out. There's definitely some thicker, heavier, darker stouts than this. It looks pretty dark in there. Maybe a little red rubbiness around the outside of the thin part of the glass here, guys. Not much. It is fairly dark. But that's just, just like pouring Coca-Cola or something like that into a glass. Doesn't look that dark pouring it out, but once you get it in the glass, especially depending on how thick the glass is. So, still a good looking stout. I mean, I wouldn't say it was motor oil, but still nice. To the nose we go. Nice roasted malt. Maybe just a hint of some raspberries. Vanilla. Not so much getting a big whiff of coffee, but that may change as soon as I put my lips and get it down my throat. Let's find out. Cheers. Definitely raspberries on the taste right up front. Big time raspberries. And then a little bit of the cocoa nibs in there, and vanilla. The coffee is very subdued already, so I don't know when this was done, how old it is, with no dating or vintage or anything like that on the label. Still very tasty, super tasty, guys. A very, very nice Imperial Stout. I don't know if I would get it up into the double pastry or not. The raspberries are very prominent. And it is fairly easy drinking for 13.5%. It could sneak up on you. You don't realize you're drinking a magnitude beer unless you know it. You see it on the board where you're getting it, or you read the can. Oh, I'm going to pick this up. I'll pick that up. I'm going to drink this. I'll drink that. If you're doing that assessment, drink this and drink that. Do it at home. That way you're not going to get in trouble. Don't want you to get in trouble. Alright guys, backhand pour going in, the little swirly swirl was done. That is a very nice dessert beer, a great final beer of the evening. And most of these breweries, the breweries nowadays, guys, you guys that are getting into craft beer or just getting into it the last year or two, have got it made pretty good, because 10-12 years ago the craft beer industry was doing well, but there was a lot of transitional bad beers out there. I mean, nothing to the caliber of what's being brewed today was being brewed 10-12 years ago as far as craft beer, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. There are so many varieties and so many different styles. It wasn't like that 12 years ago, 10 years ago or more. So it's come a long way, guys, and more than likely it's just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come. So with that being said, let's go sip on this. It'll come up to room temperature. What you want to do. And I can do that with an ale a whole lot easier. I can with a lager. Gotta have that lager nice and chilled, Lord. That's why I don't drink very many of them anymore. I'm an ale guy, I guess. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Taste your beer, guys. Pretty impressed with what these guys at Mason Ale Works are doing. A great final beer of the evening for me. Very nice. Cocoa nibs, raspberry is prominent in this one. Not much coffee. And I think it's a fairly new release, because Untapped only has 293 people have commented on it, and Beer Advocate doesn't have a grade. Not 10 people have commented yet on it. So very nicely done. Very, very well made beer. Alcohol's well hidden for a big whopping 13.5%. And again, on the nose and on the taste, now that it's warmed up, big time raspberries. Big time. Big raspberry. There is excuse me. There is some sediment in the beer, but it's not going to hurt you. So swirl it up. Final chug. Wow. Delicious, guys. To me, it's an A beer in a B can, because of lack of a vintage or dating or anything like this. But I know it's a new release. They assured me of that when I bought it. And going and looking at Untapped and Beer Advocate, it's the amount of people that have commented on it. It is a new release, so pretty tasty. But I would like to see them put a vintage or a date or something on it. So anyway, that's the way I feel about it. I would probably give it a 90 if it had a date or vintage or something like that on it, but it doesn't. So B plus for me, 89. And no grade from Beer Advocate, and Untapped has it at 3.96, which is in their up end of their B plus range also, so we're in agreement there. So if you've had Ravens Light from Mason Ale Works. A very tasty, big Imperial Stout. I don't know if I'd put it quite in the pastry stout. Big time raspberries, but not much coffee. Not much coffee at all. So, as fresh as it is, if you want to sour this one, probably wouldn't hurt anything. So, if you've had it, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.